tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Mangalagiri and Amaravati. The history of Buddhism in India for thousands years, almost I think 1,000, almost 2,300 years. There's a great place in the history in Buddhism for Andhra Pradesh. I feel very honored to be here to have with you this evening to share something related to the teaching of Buddha, the importance of Buddhism here in Andhra Pradesh, and importance of Buddhism in general, global wise. For quite some years, I'm living in Sarnath, Benares. I think many of you have visited Sarnath. Oh, I would invite you to visit Sarnath one day. I most heartily welcome you to Sarnath one day to see the very ancient sites where the Buddha preached his historical first sermon, Dhammacakkappavattana, to just 5 months. Now, after 2000, almost now 600 years passed, that Buddha gave us such a teaching which is every day, every moment, very, very practical in our life. Buddha is, we can say, the first psychologist, especially spiritual psychologist. If you think about every aspect of Buddha's life, every aspect of teaching, that his teaching is contemplative. When the science become more and more, find more discoveries, when the science become very practical in our life, day-to-day life, so the Buddhism is the nearest and closest spiritual guidelines for our life nowadays. And in Buddha's first teaching, he says, Yam kinchi samudaya dhammam sabbhantam nirodha dhammam. This is a very, very significant teaching. Yam kinchi samudaya dhammam sabbhantam nirodha dhammam. Whatever rises from the cause just exists, and this goes. When the cause is there, there is effect. When the cause is no more, the effect is also disappeared. In Paticca Samuppada, or the dependent origination, Buddha explained the the birth to everything, from life to beyond the life, from ignorance, in fact, starting from the ignorance, why we are unable to understand the life, the reality of the life, the truth of the life, the meaning of the life. It is the first course Buddha has given as the ignorance. Ignorance, or the avijja, avidya. So the opposite is that vidya, the jnana, or the science. Avidya is the first reason for all what we do. Unwisely, to make our life miserable. So Buddha says us to be more mindful, to ask us to be more wise, to more reality, to see the life as it is. This is, he always teaches us. See the life as it is, not to otherwise. So that is why Buddha says to be, live in the present moment. In this moment, what we are now, here and now, we are experiencing, we are hearing, as I think if you practice Vipassana meditation, you will understand this very clearly and very practically. What is happening every moment in our mind and how it reflect and react with our body. That is why now the Vipassana meditation is going global wise. Even you will surprised to hear that even in the Middle East, in the Muslim countries, there are several Vipassana meditation centers. The reason is that people have the material wealth in their life, the worldly pleasures they have, but they are lacking of satisfactory in the life. They are lacking of the peace within their life. So the Buddhism helped, the meditation helped them to overcome this, to fulfill this lacking. That is why Buddha's teaching goes with the science. You know, if you see the history of India, some people ask when we go to the abroad or other countries, even in here in India, some places people ask, why Buddhism disappeared from India? Why there are very minor people following Buddhism in India, where it born, the land of Buddha? So I answer them most of the time, you know, Buddha in his suttas he mentioned always that Panyavantansa ayam dhammo, nayam dhammo dupanyas. My teaching is those who have wisdom, those who have intelligence can easily understand this Dhamma. Those who practice the the reality of the life, those who experience the reality of the life and death, they can easily get to know what is Buddha taught. And I told them that don't go with the quantity, but with the quality. In the quality, Buddha started his teaching with just 5 months. Just 5 months. Do you imagine now how it spread in global wise? Some years back, there was a great conference in Geneva. I think you heard about the best religion in the world with all different faiths. They conducted kind of voting among all the religious leaders and religious representatives. Even some Muslims from Pakistan, they voted to Buddhism. This is the best religion in the world. Even Muslims from Pakistan. Can you imagine that? What they have written, what they have said is more surprise. They have said that though we born in our Islam, though our religion, my parents' religion, Islam, but we feel that if the world needs real peace, if there is religion that can embrace entire human being as brotherhood, then definitely it is not our religion, but it is Buddha's teaching can embrace all humanity. All humanity. Because in Buddhism, he teaches the way of life. He never talk about the gods. He never talk about the Ishwar. Can you imagine? Without Ishwar, Buddha teach the Dharma. In such a country where everywhere gods, the full of gods, but Buddha is the first person, he teach his message without God. This is the miracle. This is the challenge in this country. And without God, he gave faith to the people. Can you imagine? Without a God, any person can have faith. Even we need a small statue, Buddha statue or something. We need to gain our confidence or faith. But Buddha is the first person, he gave confidence. That is true confidence, not the blind faith. The true confidence he gave without any that kind of God's statues is nothing required. But what is required? Buddha says, you need only little wisdom. Little wisdom. Buddha is the first person to teach this. Because there are many other religious faith, other traditions, there are everywhere. But if you go through all these traditions, all this faith, somewhat you feel that somewhere there is closed doors or windows, somewhere. It's not totally open. But Buddha opened to everything to you. He make you. In his last sermon, Mahaparinibbana Sutta, he said, be a light unto yourself. Atta Deepo Bhava. Be a light unto yourself. No one can make you wise until you yourself. No one can. Even Buddha cannot. So that is why Buddha says always, he gave confidence to stand by your own. Stand by your own. He gave full confidence to yourself, self-confidence. Not necessary any such thing, not necessary such gods. You are godliness. Your heart is full of godliness. Just needs little wisdom to realize what has happened with our mind. What is going on with our mind? There are negativities, there are positivities in the mind. There is anger in the mind and there is love also in the mind. There is honesty in the mind, there is a dishonesty also in the mind. You see, the same energy. Sometimes you love, sometimes you hate. The same energy. So Buddha says us to be transform this negative energy to positive energy. Just transform. To transform this, there is the only way, that is meditation. To be wise, to be silent, to be calm, and get into ourselves. So really you will understand that no outside such a divine powers is necessary, but we have within ourselves that divine power. So we have to create that divine power which is hidden ourselves. Nobody can give us divine powers, but we have divine powers within ourselves. But we have to destroy that evil force which is occupied, overpowered. How Buddha transformed Angulimala? Just within few words. Just only few words. How he transformed? Because Buddha's word, what he asked to follow to Angulimala was full of compassion, full of compassion, full of love, full of wisdom. So it touched his heart. It took away all his negativities within a minute, within a moment. So everybody have this energy. This is what Buddha says. So other powers are not necessary for that. Only we need little wisdom, little understanding. That is why now, after 2000 years, history of Buddhism, how it goes to the world without any that kind of fighting, bloodshed. This is the challenge, really. This is the challenge. If we see the history of religions of the world, it is full of bloodshed. Yes. Even this country, see the history, full of bloodshed. I think religious wars killed many people than the nuclear bombs killed. Religious wars in the world. So in the name of whom in the name of God. So Buddha gave us to embrace the humanity. He says in Dhammapada how mind spoiled us. In first stanza Buddha says, Mano pumbangama dhamma mano siddha mano maya manasa che paduttena bhasati va karoti va tato nang dukkha manveti chakkang vahatu padam. So this is, he says that mind is supreme. Mind is the forerunner of all the conditions arise in us. If we speak with impure mind, if we act with impure mind, the suffering follows us. Suffering follows us always. Just like a cart that carries by a bull that carts, bull carts, he always carry a cart. He cannot leave it until someone has to leave it. So our suffering is not created by outsiders. This is very important to understand. We always fight with others. We pinpoint to others because I'm suffering because of you. I'm miserable. Why? Because of you. People have this practice, this condition their mind. They used to pinpoint others. Because of you I'm suffering. No, this is not right. This is the practice of common people. Always they don't want to see their own faults, own mistakes, but they always, it is easy to pinpoint others, but not to ourselves. It's always easy to blame others, but not to ourselves. See within ourselves, who am I? And why I blame others for mistakes. So Buddha never blamed any mistakes done by human beings. Buddha says it is out of ignorance. Even to Angulimal, when some people ask, when Buddha go to jungle to see Angulimal, the people in the village stop him, don't go. There is that dangerous Angulimal. He may kill you. You cannot come back. So we cannot take any risk in your life. So Buddha asked, if I don't go there, you see, if I don't go there, then who will go? So do you think that Angulimal will remain in all his life as Angulimal? So Buddhism teach where it indeed deserves people. I told such people when they asked why Buddhism is not in India, I asked, important things you have sent to the other countries. All the important things in this country. All the fine things, fine materials, fine food, refined food, all the quality things you made in this country, but you send for other countries. You don't allow your people to use it. The quality things. Export, everything. Your people become sick, but you make quality food. You send other countries to become good health, Your people are sick. Your people eat such food. There's no quality, not nutritious. But you make good quality food and send others children to eat. Your children dying of this, hunger, poverty. But you send others. this happened with the Buddhism. You send peace, wisdom through Buddhism to other countries. But this country is in restless, no peace. The golden period of this country was period when King Asoka ruled this country. There is no doubt. If you see, go to the history, after he transformed his heart. Same energy. You see how our mind, same energy. Asoka was a great fighter. He can kill thousands within hours. Asoka was a great fighter. He trained, well-trained fighter. In Orissa, in Kalinga, war, after so many people, millions of people killed, and everything after some hours was just like a dead silence. Whole Kalinga, whole Orissa was dead silence because no people. People were killed. It was just like a cemetery, in dead silence. When Asoka was returning after this war, Kalinga, he went to wash his hands to Daya Nadi. Today also there is a Daya Nadi. Wash his face. When he take water, he just want to touch, wash it. Then he saw it is not water, but it is blood. The Daya Nadi was full of blood. So he was so shocked. What I have done? What I have done? So just he was restless from that very moment. He was very restless. He couldn't sleep. History says he couldn't sleep. So he was seeking some medicine to balance his mind. But medicine was failed. Many Brahmins, many other physicians came to treat him, but they were failed. Ultimately, got to meet one venerable Arahant, Moggaliputta, this venerable monk. So he teach him Dhamma, touch his heart. Slowly he changed. He transformed his heart. He transformed it, bad energy, his anger, his hatred, to love, compassion, and sympathy to all the human beings. So he determined, let me spread this message of compassion, this message of love, this message of wisdom to entire world. So today we are very grateful to great Asoka for his great mission. Without him, I think today we cannot, even this country, talk about Buddhism. Forget about other countries. We couldn't. So we are very much grateful to his great life, great mission. And so I think time is going to short, so I will speak very few words more. Buddhism is to be practiced. This is understood. This is very, when we are sick, Buddha says we are sick in 24 hours. Not just to hospital, not that. Don't be in that, misunderstand. Not like that. It may be sometimes some serious bodily effect or ailment, we need treatment from the hospital or doctor, but we are sick all the time. We are sick in our mind. We cannot get rid of that. That is why Buddha always says, this is the process. Buddhism is a process. It's a process. It's not something to hold on. It is a process, life process. So today you are bad, but tomorrow you may be good. This is what important. Buddhism never condemns people when they are bad. Never condemn. Okay, it is bad today. It may be he's ignorant, but tomorrow maybe he's a good person. Now he's bad. But after a moment, he may be good. He may change. He may transform. This is what Buddhism. It's a life process. It needs good guidance. It needs good teaching. If teaching is bad, people have that bad poison. If bad poison goes to the mind, of course, especially from the child's mind, then his entire life becomes full of poison. That has happened. The many religious faith has given poison to the minds of the people. Poisons of hatred. These are the poisons, nothing. Hatred, anger, violence, these are the poisons. This is what's happening in the global wise this moment, today. Spreading like virus everywhere, violence and hatred. So that is why we are very much grateful to the forefathers, those who spread this great teaching, this Andhra Pradesh. As you all know, the history in our temple, there is the precious relic of Buddha in Sarnath. It is covered in Guntur district, I think. Guntur district, yes. Battikur district here. And the relics were very, we keep it well maintained and keep it. And with great respect, every year we have this veneration, for public veneration, Kartik Purnima in November. So thousands of people come there. And just last year, Bhante Anand and many monks, about 300 monks came from Bangalore to pay respect. So this we got. So I'm grateful to the people of this area, the people of Andhra, that because of you gave this to us, and it's now in our temple in Moolagandapattu. We are very much grateful to you. And I just want you to use this human life, don't waste it. Our human life is very precious human life. Don't waste it. This life, maybe we do not know after how many years, after how many births we have become humans. If we miss this chance, if we miss the chance, जो अवसर है, अगर अवसर आप भूल जाएगा तो, then that will be great loss. So please don't miss this chance, what we have. Dullabhancha manusattam, Buddha says in the Dhammapada. Dullabhancha manusattam, Buddhapadacha dullabha. It's very rare to become a human being. It's very rare. It's very rare to have a life of a Buddha. It's very rare to have a Buddha. Sattamo Paramadullabha. It's more rare to listen to the noble Dhamma. It's more rare. So please use this human life in the short life. जीवन एक अवसर है, उस अवसर को भुलाना नहीं, उस अवसर उपलब्धि के लिए अपने जीवन को उपलब्धि के लिए लगाइए। फिर कभी पश्चाताप हो, you may regret one day at the very old age if you lost this chance. The today science, they are discovering, and they get surprised how this Buddha gave us such a scientific teaching in thousands years back in the jungle, living in the jungle, in the forest with the closed eyes. These scientists were surprised. So please, I wish that you everybody have a very peaceful life. And this Andhra Pradesh, our Anjana Reddy is our life member of Mahabodhi Society of India also, and all the distinguished guests here. We have precious time, and Ravi is working very hard, and I think his group and the venerable monks, our Dhammarakkhita Bhante and all other monks doing very great work in spreading the Dhamma. I'm really impressed with your work here, and I wish that you all continue your service to humanity without any caste, creed, and any that kind of discrimination, because this discrimination is the one other poison destroy this country. It's very sad to see how this great India once upon a time was known as the spiritual guru in the world. The spiritual guru, I always say, India must take once again leadership to give to the world spirituality. Why the people come to India to know from worldwide, why many people coming to foreigners to India? Not to study computer, not to study the nuclear, how to make nuclear bombs, Why people come to India? To experience peace. To experience peace in this country. Somewhat they have lost now India, I don't know, India's पहचान दुनिया में क्या हो गया आज जो spiritual जो दर्ज था वो that period was King Ashoka's period. India was known as a spiritual guru. It was the period of King Ashoka. Great Nalanda was there. It is the first university in the world, Great Nalanda, Takshila and Vikramasila. This was the period where the worldwide, the people came from worldwide to practice, learn the dharma and the truth. So today, we're sad to see what is in this country. I think there is a university, Andhra Pradesh University Vice Chancellor, Honorable Vice Chancellor is here. I hope that you get more and more students from worldwide. Make this place international once again. I think we can also support. There are many students, there are many people there, and in Saranath is an international place, so we can encourage them to get admission here, so that once again, that Andhra Pradesh or this place, this Amaravati or this university, in the name of Nagarjuna, such a great philosopher, I think we cannot compare him to thousands people, thousand philosophers, just one philosopher. So great Nagarjuna produced this great soil. So once again, we can take this history, our heritage, to world. Why we cannot do that? Only we need little wisdom, little cooperation, this humanity and united. So thank you for giving me opportunity, Raviji, and all others. I pray that you everybody have a very peaceful and joyous and happyful life, and may you all have peace and happiness in your life. Thank you very much.